Good morning, walk fans. We're back in Dorking West. I'm already going the wrong way. We're back in Dorking West and we're heading to Chilworth today. It is due to be the hottest day of the year so far. So, sunblock on, SPF 30, hat obligatory. And we are 1 mile in. Today's going to be 17 miles. Cue the map. We start here, we end here, and this is the route. Like I say, 17.5 miles. I think in the first few miles we're going to encounter a waterfall apparently, so that'll be quite nice. That's on the map here, and shortly after that is a climb to our highest ascent point. So I'm definitely going to take a little bit of time just to get my breath before starting the ascent. Talking of which, we're heading up into the trees right now. I think we're going to be heading over that way. So yeah, day 8. I think by the end of the day we're going to have covered about 120 miles. Woo! Getting close to halfway. Let's go. Just very quickly, this is the difference between yesterday and today's hiking. We're only just over a mile into the walk and we're already up into the hills. Well, if today stays like this, I'm not going to complain. What a lovely area and really nice people. I've been stopped a couple of times for a chat and it's always really lifts my spirits, so thank you for stopping and chatting. Especially the guy who I think I've got your bingo card today. He's saying he was born in the area, his wife was born in Chilworth, and he spends a lot of time up at Leith Hill, which is where we're going to be going today. We continue anyway. Just bumped into, must have been 30 odd school kids doing the Duke of Edinburgh. I think we're going up here. So well done to them for doing Duke of Edinburgh. I forget how hard it is to read a paper map because I use so much technology with a map on my wrist. I've got a map on my phone and a couple of maps on my phone, and backup battery supplies and things like that. So it's good to see that they're having to navigate using paper maps and a compass. Well done you. Certainly hillier now. Whew. Which means the views are going to be epic. once we get to the top. I shall keep an eye out for the basking adder. My stomach is telling me that I am quite hungry now. It's just hit noon, so here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. But I don't really want to stop for lunch until I get to the top of Leith Hill. I'll see how I go. I don't think that's close. It's going to be a few hours. So I'm just going to have to suck it up, buttercup. It's fairly easy walking at the moment, so no problem. So I'd been looking online for somewhere to stay around this area, and there's a place called Hem Bunkhouse, which is just back there, and it looks fantastic. Unfortunately, it's closed. Real shame, because you know, you're in the middle of this gorgeous countryside. I thought I was going to be passing by a waterfall called Tilling Waterfall. I've just seen a sign that says Tilling Springs, which I knew was after the waterfall. So having just checked the map, indeed, I've gone past the waterfall, and having looked closer at the map, I don't think I can get close enough to it anyway. And if I could, I couldn't hear it, so I've got a feeling it's something to do with Hem Bunkhouse. Sadly, no shots of Tilling, I hope I'm saying that right, and it's not Tiling, Tilling Springs, Tilling Waterfall. But I'll put some pictures up for you right about now, just so that you can see what it's like, and I'm sure people can tell me in the comments if you can actually walk up to this. But it does look rather special, and even if you don't get to see the waterfall, the walk in this area is absolutely stunning. So give yourself a treat, come to the Surrey Hills and have a little wander around. It's absolutely magnificent, especially on a day like today. As you can see, the track is really easy underfoot. It's been really nice to kind of be at one without sounding too hippie-ish, just being a bit at one with nature, just listening to the birds and the odd insect flying past, wind brushing through the trees, crunch crunch of my foot, the odd squirrel darting across the path. No adders as yet. So that last final section has got a bit of a sting in its tail, but you are treated to a nice tower overwatch, and check out these views. Time for lunch. Got to the top, stunning views, really ridiculously good views, and you can Probably see them in the background over there. Yet the wind picked up to the point where I couldn't fly a drone even if I wanted to. And I say even if I wanted to because I couldn't check to see if it was a safe fly zone. So instead of just going ahead and flying, I decided not to. So yeah, I couldn't fly the drone because rather than just getting up and flying it, couldn't get a GPS lock, I won't bore you actually, I couldn't fly it. So sorry about that. The plan was to bring you some really nice footage of the views, but hopefully later on in the walk I'll be able to stop for lunch number 2. I cut my lunch short because it was too windy up there. Let's see how we do. I can definitely hear the trees rustling above me quite a bit, and yeah, I've tripped over about 6 times so far. There's rocks galore just sticking up everywhere, but the dappled lighting on the floor makes it quite, as you can see, it's quite hard to see anything sticking up because the rocks that are sticking up are obviously the same colour as the earth behind it. Just watch where I'm going, right? My mind's off doing some other things. It's really undulating at the moment. It's really nice because it's working different muscle groups. So you don't get the pain that you feel if you're just walking on the same level all the time. I did 50 kilometres with my daughter, well done Delith, along the Thames path, and I did warn her that of all the 50 kilometre paths that we could have done, or she could have chosen, it's one of the more painful ones purely because it's flat. She agreed after about 20 kilometres. But fair play to her, she did a couple of 50 kilometres before she was 17, so that officially makes her a ultra marathoner before the age of 17. So well done Delith. Going back to what I was saying about maps earlier, if you use the OS maps, by the way, I'm not sponsored by them, I just use them, and I've found there's a few little things that are have been very handy, and I wish I'd known them before, so just imparting my knowledge really. But if you download the map, I'll show you probably about here. If you plot your route out first and then download, tell the app to download the map whilst you're on Wi-Fi at home, and that means whenever you're out in the wilds, it doesn't matter if you've got signal or not, because your phone will just use your GPS to position you on the map that you've downloaded. So top tip, download your maps if you're going out into the wild somewhere, lest you get lost. But always take a paper map. I didn't bring a paper map. This is Holmesbury Cricket Club, and it's at the top of the next hill that I've just climbed. It's so peculiar to be walking through the woodlands just now and pop out on this track just to see this big open space of well kept grass. But it's Holmesbury cricket ground, can't even speak, and apparently it needs you. I think it needs some of its community to come together to help out here. Anyway, it's pretty cool, isn't it? So just come out into this field here, or this clearing, and checked, and we are safe to fly. So here's a little bit of drone footage for you. I'm going to try and fly over just to see if we can see that cricket club, but we'll go over. I have no idea what we're going to see here, by the way. I'm talking to you before I film this, so hopefully it's some fairly good footage. It's quite a popular track for cyclists and stuff, so maybe you can see some people out there cycling. I'd be quite interested to see what this clearing that I'm stood in is looking like from above. But yeah, we're clear of all danger zones and we can fly with caution. Oh, once you've had a good look here, we'll get on with the walk. Well, hopefully I grabbed some footage there, but I think the drone gods are conspiring against me today because it started complaining about memory card issues, so I've abandoned drone footage for today. So hopefully I got something, and if I did get something, well, you would have just seen it. I hope you enjoyed it. It's like a little memorial over there, which I think we're going to be circling around to see in a second. So we've reached the top of Holmesbury Hill viewpoint, and what I was pointing at just now was both a trig point and a seat, but nearby there is this viewpoint. So I shall try reading out as we go around. You've got Leith Hill, Gatwick off in the distance there, then Crawley, Forest Green, Horsham, Devil's Dyke is the really faint hill in the distance there, I believe. Shoreham Gap, and the sea is that way. Lancing College, and then Chanctonbury Ring. If you've not heard of Chanctonbury Ring, which I think you can just make out on top there, it's a ring of trees. I might put a little something on screen or in the description probably about Chanctonbury Ring. It's quite an interesting place. And this is due south. And going across, we've got Bignor Hill, Ewhurst. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong. Ewhurst is closer. It's only 1.7 kilometres away. Chanctonbury Ring, by the way, is 19.4 kilometres from this point. And going further across, where was I? Dunsfold Aerodrome, Blackdown, Ascombe Hill, which is over here. I'm struggling to see my own camera. Devil's Punch Bowl, and then finally Pitch Hill. And somebody's left a little flower in memory of someone, no doubt. But that was a nice moment. But now it is time for me to get a bit of a move on to show you how hot it is. I'm going to put on the screen a picture I took of my forearm. If you're squeamish about sweat, look away now. So I'm going to try and get a bit of a move on without going crazy, because it's too hot for that. But I do need to start ticking off some of the miles. Rushing down the hill, and I haven't got the microphone in, so I apologise, but I just saw this. Look how amazing this is. Each one of these, it's got something written on it. These are the good old days. Carpe diem. Strong feelings of freedom and joy. Sorry about the wind. In fact, let me put the microphone on. That should be better. Strong feelings of freedom and joy. Gratitude for spending time in such a spot along the gorgeous Surrey hills. From her father to our mother, a word. On be comrade. Be still for the presence of the view. Serene. So these are clearly things that are describing this view. Okay, I've just done another check and I am making up time, but I've really got to fly along these trails, which is what I'm doing right now. And I've just run out of water, which was a bit of a schoolboy error. I've got about an hour and a half to go, I suppose. Hour and a half, 2 hours. And so, anyway, what I'll do is if I sign off now, I think. I'd love to be able to show you more of this, but I want to keep the videos obviously as short as possible. Hopefully you're getting a taster of what this is like here. It's just incredible. The Surrey Hills rightly deserve the accolade of area of outstanding natural beauty. It's a stunning place, so my advice is, top tip, just get out here and get amongst it. I mean, there's footpaths everywhere. Take a little map with you, download your maps beforehand. In fact, funny should mention that today, because I bumped into a gentleman later on, only about an hour ago, and he was having trouble finding one of the hills, top of one of the hills, because his phone couldn't get the mapping correct. He was trying to use Google Maps. So yeah, don't rely on Google Maps. Choose something like Komoot or OS Maps. There's plenty of them out there. But anything that you can use, anything where you can download the map, do that. Anyway, I went over that already, so I won't go over it again. I'm going to say goodbye and thank you very much for watching. I really hope you're enjoying it, and I really hope that it's giving you an idea of what's out here, and you know what you could be enjoying, and you know it's not in the back of beyond and inaccessible. You can come out and just enjoy all of this. Just seeing there's a load of Christmas trees planted there. So yeah, until the next time. It's a bit windy. Adios amigos. Gone the wrong way. Found another one. You can't see me at all with the sun behind me. That was incredibly tough. Incredibly tough walk. Last 2 hours I've had no water, and I then remembered I had an apple. I've just eaten that apple, and it tasted like the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. Chilworth, we're here. Just over 18 miles. I'm pooped.